Hello aspirants, I hope your preparation for prelims UPSC 2025 is on track, and as the prelim nears, as I told you, we have come up with a new series that focuses upon the high yield topics, and in the same series I am here, Manpreet Singh Mahal, and Nimbus Academy IAS will today focus upon the topics which are very important from geography and environment point of view. So let's move forward with this series and let's see what is there in the store in the geography. So सबसे पहले, see, geography and environment is one key aspect of UPSC prelims, जिसमें से कम हर साल you will see approximately 25 questions. तो एनवायरमेंट और ज्योग्राफी को जब हम इकट्ठा करते हैं 25 क्वेश्चंस, दैट इज 25% ऑफ द टोटल क्वेश्चन इट एनकम्पासेस. और रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस विद करंट अफेयर जब हम जाते हैं देन देयर आर अराउंड 30 to 32 क्वेश्चंस in total. So this is one part where your conceptual understanding comes into play. So if you know geography concepts very well, if you know environment concepts very well, then you are going to ace this examination. So if you don't have the conceptual clarity, then it is very difficult to get through the prelim stage and also crack the main stage of this examination. So the first thing here, that is tropicalization. So let's see what is tropicalization. As the name suggests, अब देखिए, as I told you, in geography and environment, what matters the most is your conceptual understanding. So tropicalization, अगर ऐसा कंसेप्ट या ऐसा टर्म आपको कहीं पे भी प्रीलिम्स में दिखाई देता है, देन इट मींस इट इज समथिंग रिलेटेड टू योर ट्रॉपिक्स. एंड ट्रॉपिकलाइजेशन मींस कि ट्रॉपिक का जो एरिया ऑफ इन्फ्लुएंस है दैट इज ग्रोइंग. नाउ व्हाई इज इट ग्रोइंग एंड व्हाई इज इट इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर दिस प्रीलिम्स एग्जामिनेशन एंड फॉर द एनवायरमेंटलिस्ट, वी विल गेट टू अंडरस्टैंड हियर. So tropicalization is basically the area of influence that is increasing for the tropics. This is because, as you know, our earth is round, and if we see the insolation here, then the highest insolation is seen around 0 degree equator to your 23 degree and 23.5 degree in the north and 23.5 degree in the south. That is your tropics. So this area receives the maximum amount of insolation, but eventually the area beyond this, जो 60 डिग्री के ऊपर का एरिया है, that is, और उसके अराउंड का जो एरिया है, that is basically known as your temperate region. But eventually climate change and global warming की वजह से हो क्या रहा है, the temperate areas are seeing an increase in the temperatures. So ये टेम्परेट एरियाज का जब टेम्परेचर बढ़ रहा है, उसकी वजह से देयर इज एन इनफ्लक्स ऑफ द ऑर्गेनिजम्स फ्रॉम द ट्रॉपिक्स टुवर्ड्स द टेम्परेट एरियाज, एंड दैट इज व्हाई दिस टर्म बिकम्स इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर द प्रीलिम्स पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. So we can see here tropical ecosystems are being transformed due to movement of organisms. So movement of organisms is there because, as you know, oceans are the heat sinks of earth. सबसे ज्यादा जो हीट सिंक करती है अर्थ की इंसोलेशन के थ्रू या बाकी प्रोसेसेस के थ्रू, दैट इज टेकन बाय द ओशंस. एंड इवेंचुअली इफ देयर इज ग्लोबल वार्मिंग, देन मोस्ट ऑफ द हीट दैट गोज इनटू द ओशंस. सो यू हैव टू गेट दैट फैक्ट वेरी राइट. और इस क्लाइमेट चेंज की वजह से टेम्परेट रीजन्स के जो यहां पे ओशंस है उसका टेम्परेचर इवेंचुअली काफी ज्यादा बढ़ रहा है, एंड ऑर्गेनिजम्स फ्रॉम द ट्रॉपिक्स are increasing their area, increasing their zones, and that is why this process is called tropicalization. So as illustrated in this diagram, you will see here that temperate areas don't have so much temperature. The tropical areas, they are having very high temperature in comparison to the temperate ones, but eventually this increase in temperature is being seen in the temperate areas, and organisms will tend to move in this direction, which is eventually called tropicalization. So it is a climate change driven process. And how is it important for your environment and ecology? It is important because it increases the chances of competition, predation and there are changes in the ecosystem functioning. So competition and predation, if you know these terms, then kindly drop the relevance of these terms in the comment box. And eventually it also influences the global economy because it differentiates the fishing patterns and the fishery patterns, and also it has an impact on global tourism along with the differences in the carbon sinks. So as I told you, oceans, they are not only the heat sinks of Earth, but also the carbon sinks. So there are changes, and this was your tropicalization process. Now moving forward, there is another term which has gained significance in the recent times, and that is Atlantification. So as I told you earlier कि जब ऐसी कोई भी टर्म आपको प्रीलिम्स में अपीयर होती है, then you will have to catch this particular first term, that is Atlantic. So increase in area of Atlantic or increase in the zone of influence of Atlantic, that is basically Atlantification. Ab Atlantification is also enhanced by the climate change and the global warming. फिर से oceans acting as the sinks of Earth, and eventually you should know that Earth is round. तो जो Earth round है उसकी वजह से this area which you see on the top is referred to as Arctic region, and this area which you see at the bottom is referred to as Atlantic. But eventually if you see the spherical shape of Earth, Atlantic and Arctic are related to each other. अब देखिए अटलांटिक के जो वाटर्स हैं, दैट वाटर इज बेसिकली वार्मर. तो जो अटलांटिक का पानी है दैट इज वार्मर इन कंपैरिजन टू आर्कटिक का पानी. दिस इज बिकॉज आर्कटिक इज हैविंग अ लेयर ऑफ आइस ओवर इट. तो लेयर ऑफ आइस की वजह से, फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ वी सी दिस इज द आर्कटिक डोमेन, एंड आर्कटिक डोमेन में ये सबसे ऊपर देयर इज एन आइस कवर. सो इस आइस कवर की वजह से होता क्या है, इसके नीचे का जो पानी है दैट इज रिलेटिवली कोल्डर. So relatively colder water is there, and eventually relatively warmer water is located in your deeper layers. So deeper layers में यहाँ पे Arctic जब हम नीचे जाएंगे वहां पे relatively warmer waters होते हैं, and this is completely different with respect to your Atlantic, because Atlantic की ice you have seen it that it is gradually melting, और वहां पे there is not a consistent layer of ice over it. So there is warmer air and low pressure area that forms over the Atlantic region, and that makes the upper layer prone to the heat loss, and also this layer of water is relatively warmer in comparison to the Arctic. So you must know that by the virtue of this there is a halocline that is formed in the water in this region. So halocline is basically the layer of water that is separating two different salinities. दो different salinities को ये separate करता है, that is known as halocline. And if on the same lines, if you know what is thermocline, then tell me more about thermocline and what does it separate in the comment box. So on the same lines if we go, so this is the halocline which is separating two different layers, but eventually अब हो क्या रहा है, due to Atlantification or the ingress by the Atlantic waters, this water is moving into the deeper layers of Arctic. And due to the movement of this water, there is intrusion of Atlantic waters into the Arctic Ocean, and it leads to the increased ice melt. So as I told you, Atlantic का पानी is relatively warm, और जब ये warm water is ingressing in the lower reaches of the Arctic region, then eventually it warms the Arctic region also, and this has led to increased ice melt. So entire geopolitics around the Arctic region, because of the resource location and the new resource discoveries, is also based on this Atlantification phenomena. Atlantification की वजह से ice melt धीरे धीरे बढ़ रहा है, उसकी वजह से new resources are coming into being. That is why there is a lot of fight in the Arctic region and the countries are vying against each other in order to gain control over that area. So we discussed about your Arctic Council in the regional organizations and also in the international relation videos. So what are the countries that are part of your Arctic Council? Kindly let me know in the comment box. Now moving forward, factors affecting the Indian monsoon. So Indian monsoon is always important when it comes to your geography. This is because it has a lot of impact not only on the physical geography of India but also on the human geography, because India is an agriculture dominant nation, and by virtue of that we are having a lot of dependence on the Indian monsoon. So monsoon, as you know, the word comes from the Arabic word mausim. So monsoon is formed from Arabic word mausim, which basically means seasonal reversal of winds. So seasonal reversal of winds reflects the monsoon phenomena. But monsoon में आज के time, from the prelims point of view, what you need to remember is not everything is important, and it is something that is still under study by the geologists and the geographists and the meteorologists. So monsoon is being increasingly studied, but what are the major contributors and the major factors that are influencing monsoon, वो आपने अपने जहन में रखना है, क्योंकि इसके ऊपर यूपीएससी आई बार क्वेश्चंस पूछता आया है, एंड दिस बिकम्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो व्हाट आर द की टर्म्स दैट यू हैव टू फोकस अपॉन हियर? द फर्स्ट वन बीइंग द एल नीनो. एल नीनो बीइंग द फर्स्ट फैक्टर दैट इन्फ्लुएंसेस द इंडियन मानसून. अब एल नीनो क्या होता है? एल नीनो इज द अपीयरेंस ऑफ वार्म ओशन करंट्स अलोंग द पेरू कोस्ट. तो जब पेरू कोस्ट के अलोंग वार्म ओशन करंट्स, फॉर एग्जांपल इफ यू सी हियर, दिस इज योर साउथ अमेरिकन रीजन एंड दिस रीजन, अब इसके जब कोस्ट के ऊपर देयर इज अपीयरेंस ऑफ वार्म वाटर्स, देन दिस कंडीशन इज टर्म्ड एज एल नीनो. So El Nino is the phenomena, and what you have to exactly remember here is when there is an El Nino phenomena, then it negatively impacts the Indian monsoon. तो ये आपने चीज हमेशा याद रखनी है कि जब भी एल नीनो का फेनोमेना होगा, दैट इज अपीयरेंस ऑफ वार्म वाटर्स अलोंग द पेरू कोस्ट, देन इट विल नेगेटिवली इन्फ्लुएंस इंडियन मानसून, और इंडियन मानसून की जो रेनफॉल है वो काफी कम हो जाएगी. इवेंचुअली देयर इज अनदर फेनोमेना दैट इज ला नीना. एंड ला नीना आपने अगर कंसेप्ट के अकॉर्डिंग देखना हो तो कंसेप्चुअली आप इतना समझ लीजिए कि ला नीना इज opposite to your El Nino phenomena, and it is the appearance of cold waters along the Peru coast. So you will see here, this is your La Nina phenomena, और अब यहां पे पेरू कोस्ट के along there is appearance of warm waters. So there is appearance of cold waters. So whenever there is appearance of cold waters along Peru coast, then it will positively impact the Indian monsoon. तो ये आपने याद रखना है, जब भी ला नीना की कंडीशन होगी, देन इट विल पॉजिटिवली इंपैक्ट द इंडियन मॉनसून. नाउ गोइंग फॉरवर्ड टू योर इंडियन ओशन डाइपोल. अब इंडियन ओशन डाइपोल क्या होता है? इंडियन ओशन डाइपोल कैन बी बेसिकली द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द टेम्परेचर्स ऑफ अरेबियन सी एंड द बे ऑफ बंगाल. नाउ देयर कैन बी टू डिस्टिंक्ट components of this. First one being, जब Arabian Sea का temperature is more than the temperature of Bay of Bengal, then that is known as positive Indian Ocean dipole. और जब इसका उल्टा होगा, that is Bay of Bengal का temperature ज्यादा होगा, Arabian Sea का temperature कम होगा, then that is known as negative Indian Ocean dipole. So positive and negative Indian Ocean dipole, now you know. And positive Indian Ocean dipole, जब भी positive होगा Indian Ocean dipole, then there will be a positive influence on the Indian monsoon. Indian monsoon के ऊपर positive Indian Ocean dipole, that is more temperature of Arabian Sea, that enhances the Indian monsoon and it has a positive impact on it. एक चीज आप याद रख लीजिए, positive Indian Ocean dipole. That means higher temperature of Arabian Sea that has positive impact on the Indian monsoon, and that is vice versa for the negative Indian Ocean dipole. Then there are two distinct jet streams also that basically impact your Indian monsoon, and those being, the first one is a Somali jet stream, ठीक है, जिसको हम सोमाली जेट स्ट्रीम भी कहते हैं. देन देयर इज तिब्बतियन जेट स्ट्रीम आल्सो दैट बेसिकली इन्फ्लुएंस इंडियन मॉनसून. तिब्बतियन जेट स्ट्रीम को हम कोटेश्वरम जेट भी कहा जाता है, कह देते हैं अक्सर हम. दिस इज बिकॉज इट वाज डिस्कवर्ड बाय इंडियन मेटेरोलॉजिस्ट एंड ज्योग्राफी से जुड़े हुए ये बहुत ही प्रोमिनेंट एक फिगर थे इंडिया में, that is P. Koteshwaram, and it was discovered by P. Koteshwaram, and that is why in order to honor him we call it Koteshwaram jet also. So Koteshwaram jet and Somali jet जब भी ये appear होंगी they will always have a positive impact on the Indian monsoon. तो Indian monsoon के with regard आपने ये चार फैक्टर्स जो है अपने दिमाग में रखने हैं, और ये चारों फैक्टर्स के विद रिस्पेक्ट टू आपकी कंसेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी होनी चाहिए. एंड द एग्जामिनर कैन गो इनटू द डेप्थ्स एंड कैन आस्क यू क्वेश्चन कि एल नीनो की वजह से पॉजिटिव इंपैक्ट है मॉनसून के ऊपर या नेगेटिव इंपैक्ट है. देन सिमिलरली नेगेटिव इंडियन ओशन डाइपोल का नेगेटिव इंपैक्ट है या पॉजिटिव इंपैक्ट है. तो यू हैव टू बियर दिस कंसेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी इन योर माइंड, एंड आई होप there is a little more conceptual clarity. So this is your figure that is demonstrating your positive phase of Indian Ocean dipole, or positive phase of Indian Ocean dipole means warmer than usual, warmer than normal Arabian Sea, and cooler than normal Bay of Bengal region, and that will result into positive influence on the Indian monsoon. And similar, that is vice versa, is relevant with respect to your negative Indian Ocean dipole. So now let's move forward. Cyclones, another key area which is very important with respect to your climatology, क्योंकि पिछली बार भी climatology में से कुछ questions surface हुए थे, और इस बार भी there is an expectation that climatology can give you a significant chunk of questions. So cyclones में देखिए, not everything is important. Again, cyclone is an increasing area of interest for the meteorologists, और geography में इसकी study अभी तक चल रही है. But still, what you need to remember from cyclones point of view is, सबसे पहले you should know what are the conditions for the formation of cyclone. So we'll discuss those conditions. Then impact of climate change on the cyclones. And with respect to India, very 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 important, increase in the Arabian Sea cyclones. All right, so let us see what cyclones hold. सबसे पहले, let me take a blank slide. सबसे पहले तो we will be focusing upon what are basically the conditions for formation of cyclone. And अब यहाँ पे वी कांट गो इनटू मच डिटेल फिजिकल ज्योग्राफी में, एंड दैट इज समथिंग विच वी नीड टू फोकस अपॉन जब हम ज्योग्राफी पढ़ रहे होते हैं. इस टाइम वी कैन ओनली स्किम थ्रू द टॉपिक, सो आई वोंट गो वेरी डीप into the topics, but eventually there are key terms which have to be told you. Now see, cyclones, as you know, cyclones can be basically categorized into the first one, tropical cyclones, and the second one being the temperate cyclones. So there are cyclones which appear in your tropical areas, and there are cyclones which appear in your temperate areas. So what we are studying here are the conditions of tropical cyclones. Tropical cyclone की formation की conditions हम यहाँ पे discuss करेंगे. सबसे पहली and basic condition for the formation of cyclone is warm sea surface temperature. So there is warm sea surface temperature around, you can say 27 डिग्री सेल्सियस या इसके ऊपर का अगर कोई भी टेम्परेचर यहाँ पे मिलता है, देन इट इज एन एम्बिएंट कंडीशन फॉर द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ साइक्लोन. तो इस वार्म सी सरफेस टेम्परेचर की वजह से क्या फॉर्म होगा, देयर विल बी ए लो प्रेशर in that area. So what you will see there is a low pressure formation. जब भी वहां पे warm होगा sea surface, उसकी वजह से there will be a low pressure creation, and around this low pressure, third most important condition what you will need the most here is initial vortex. So initial vortex is, आप समझ सकते हैं कि initial vortex is some kind of initial disturbance. तो छोटी सी अगर इनिशियल डिस्टर्बेंस वहां पे हमें मिलती है, देन दैट इज बेसिकली इनिशियल वोर्टेक्स. देन द फोर्थ कंडीशन बीइंग दैट देयर शुड बी वेरी लो वर्टिकल विंड shear. सो वर्टिकल विंड shear अगर बहुत ज्यादा होगा, वर्टिकल विंड shear इज नथिंग बट कि अगर वहां पे हवाएं ऑलरेडी बहुत ज्यादा चल रही होंगी, बिकॉज साइक्लोन हैज टू बी फॉर्म्ड लाइक दिस. So cyclone has to go swirling from the ocean towards the sky. But अगर यहाँ पे आपकी winds पहले से बहुत ज्यादा चल रही हैं, vertical wind shear बहुत ज्यादा है, then cyclone will tend to fall in this manner. So cyclone formation नहीं हो पाएगी वहां पे. That is what I want to say. So there should be a very low vertical wind shear. And then another condition being that there should be an upper air divergence. So if there is an upper air divergence, because again cyclone has to be formed like this, but eventually यहाँ पे जो रेन बैंड्स है इस तरीके से बाहर की तरफ मूव करते हैं, and there has to be an upper air divergence here, तभी जो साइक्लोन की फॉर्मेशन है हो पाएगी. So these are the ambient conditions for the formation of tropical cyclone. और ये पांचों conditions आपने याद रखनी है, because in conditions के ऊपर examiner can frame a question. And there has been an increasing intensity of the cyclones in the Bay of Bengal region and also in the Arabian Sea region. So cyclone becomes important from climate change point of view and also from the Indian meteorology point of view. तो आपने cyclone को काफी डिटेल में स्टडी करना है. Then what I told you was we have to discuss the impact of climate change. As I told you, इसकी वजह से there has been an increasing intensity of the cyclones, ठीक है, not only in the Bay of Bengal region but also in the Arabian Sea region. And moreover, if someone gives you a statement whether there is an increase in the Arabian Sea cyclones, yes, there is an increase in the Arabian Sea cyclones. Graphically अगर हम देखें, then over the last period of time the Arabian Sea cyclones have increased like this, and we attribute it to the warming of Arabian Sea surface. So Arabian Sea का surface वहाँ पे warm हो रहा है, उसकी वजह से यहाँ पे ambient conditions जो हैं, as I mentioned you कि conditions क्या क्या हैं tropical cyclone formation की, उसमें वहाँ पे increase आ रहा है. Now there is one condition which we missed out on in the previous slide, and that condition was the presence of Coriolis deflection. Coriolis deflection की वजह से आपका cyclone जो है गोल गोल घूमता है. So these are the few conditions which you have to bear in your mind, and there are some fundamental points of difference between the tropical cyclones and the temperate cyclones. वो भी आपने अपने दिमाग में रखना है. So what are the conditions of formation that we have learnt for the tropical cyclones? So these are the tropical cyclones. These are formed in tropical areas, while the temperate cyclones are formed in mid latitudes or that are called temperate areas. Derive their energy from the latent heat of condensation, and then they derive their heat from horizontal contrast of temperatures. अब temperature के contrast की वजह से temperate cyclones बनते हैं. You will see here that is basically due to the collision of two fronts or the two air masses. जब air masses आपस में collide करते हैं, for example this is a cold air mass and it is coming into the territory of a warmer air mass. अब इसकी वजह से यहाँ पे जो फ्रंट्स फॉर्म होंगे, इन फ्रंट्स ने जब रिवॉल्व करना स्टार्ट कर देना एक तरह से, एंड दे डिसोसिएट फ्रॉम दिस पैटर्न, देन दे फॉर्म द टेम्परेट साइक्लोन्स. अब टेम्परेट साइक्लोन्स एंड ट्रॉपिकल साइक्लोन्स के बीच में ये फंडामेंटल पॉइंट्स ऑफ डिफरेंस हैं. नाउ इफ यू सी हियर, दे मूव फ्रॉम ईस्ट टू वेस्ट अंडर द ट्रेड विंड्स, व्हाइल द extratropical cyclones, they move from west to east under subtropical westerlies. They can originate only in deep warm oceans, while they can originate over oceans as well as land. So this time also cyclone ka topic was very important for UPSC mains point of view, and there was a question asked about your twisters. And twisters are nothing but your temperate cyclones. So if somebody had appeared in this time's mains, तो आपको पता होगा कि 2024 में ट्विस्टर्स वाज वन सच क्वेश्चन. एंड अगर आपको इतनी कंसेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी होती, देन यू वुड हैव बीन एबल टू इजीली अटेम्प्ट दिस क्वेश्चन. Then they have a cold core, they have a warm core, they have convectional formation, they have frontal formation. Their diameter ranges from this to this, while their diameter ranges from this to this. So डायमीटर के अकॉर्डिंग अगर बात की जाए या एरिया के अकॉर्डिंग अगर बात की जाए, देन टेम्परेट साइक्लोन्स आर वेरी लार्जली स्प्रेड इन कंपैरिजन टू द ट्रॉपिकल साइक्लोन्स. So you will see the difference here. Their range is only 50 to 300 kilometer, but their range is around 150 to 3000 kilometer. This is because they are formed due to the air masses. But the intensity of tropical cyclones is very high in comparison to your temperate cyclones, because they have the speeds only up to 30 to 50 kilometer per hour, but the speed of tropical cyclones is around 250 kilometers per hour. So they are more destructive in comparison to the temperate cyclones or the twisters. Now, no temperature variation in different parts, but they have considerable temperature variation because of different fronts. As I told you here, the warm fronts are colliding against the cold fronts. All right, so there is temperate, in the temperate cyclones, there is considerable temperature variation. Now, moving forward, let's look into the next topic. The next topic being the local winds. देखिए, लोकल विंड सबसे पहले आपने ये याद रखना है, दीज आर द टर्शियरी सर्कुलेशंस. सो प्राइमरी सर्कुलेशंस बीइंग द नॉर्थ ईस्ट ट्रेड विंड्स, वेस्टर्लीज एंड पोलर ईस्टर्लीज. ये आपकी हेडली सेल, पोलर सेल और जो बीच वाला सेल होता है, दैट इज अ मैकेनिकल सेल. उसकी वजह से आपको विंड्स मिलती हैं. फ्रंटल से आपको यहाँ पे मिलेगी, पोलर सेल की वजह से विंड्स मिलेंगी पोलर ईस्टर्ली, देन हेडली सेल की वजह से मिलेंगी, और फेरल सेल की वजह से अलग विंड्स मिलेंगी, दैट आर वेस्टर्लीज. तो यू हैव टू रिमेंबर दैट दे आर बेसिकली कॉल्ड द प्राइमरी सर्कुलेशंस, but eventually there are secondary circulations also, and there are tertiary circulations in the form of local winds. हमने पहले मानसून डिस्कस किया. मानसून forms a part of your secondary circulations, and now in the tertiary circulations we have local winds. Why are they called local winds? They are called local winds because they are influenced by local atmospheric conditions and the landform distribution. अब local winds में आपने कुछ winds है जो कि हमेशा याद रखनी है. There are some warm local winds and then there are some cold local winds. What is relevant from your UPSC point of view? अब मैं आपको वो winds की लोकेशन जो है यहाँ मैप के ऊपर मार्क करके दिखा देता हूँ. Then firstly let's look into some of the warm local winds. नॉर्थ अमेरिकन रीजन में जब हम जाएंगे, then these are the Rockies, और Rockies के साथ there is one local wind that flows, and that local wind is known as Chinook. Chinook is the local wind that is seen along the Rockies. It is also known as snow eaters. So that is a warm local wind. Eventually there is another local wind which is prominent here, और इसकी वजह से इस बार कैलिफोर्निया की जो वेदर है उस पर भी काफी इन्फ्लुएंस हुआ, and this local wind is known as Santa Ana. So Santa Ana is another local wind that is prominent in this area. Then there is one local wind which is very important when it comes to your Southern America, and they blow along the Andes mountains here, and this local wind, this warm local wind here, this warm local wind is known as Zonda. So Zonda is another warm local wind that is seen when we come to the South America or the Andes area. Now coming to your region of Mediterranean में there is one important local wind that flows like this, and that is basically known as Harmattan. So Harmattan is one fine wind that is very important for your UPSC point of view. This is because this wind is also known as doctor's wind in this area. So why is it called doctor's wind? Kindly research upon that and drop your answer in the comment box. And then in the Mediterranean region, there is one wind that is flowing from Africa towards Europe, and that wind is known as Sirocco. And Sirocco के साथ एक important phenomenon associated है, that is called your blood rains. So which is the local wind which is related to blood rains? If someone asks you, this is Sirocco. So read a little more about the blood rains and how this phenomenon is caused by the Sirocco, and kindly drop a little information about the blood rains in the comment box. Now going forward, there are other prominent winds in the area which are also important, and these winds are basically, there is one warm wind flowing in this area, and that warm wind is basically called Mistral. And then again in the Adriatic region somewhere here, there is a warm wind that is flowing which is called Bora. So this being the warm winds in the area, here the Bora is not a warm wind, rather it is a cold wind. So Bora is the cold wind that flows in this area, and then there is one more warm wind here, and that warm wind here is known as Fohn. So Fohn is one warm wind that is present in this area, and Bora, mind me, Bora is a cold wind in the area. Now going backwards, we will see in the North American region there is one cold wind that flows here, and that cold wind is called your blizzard. So if you see that, this is called BLIZZARD, that is blizzard. So blizzard is the cold wind of North American region. And in the South America, if you see here again along the Andes, there is a cold wind that is flowing in this area, and that cold wind is known as Pampio. So Pampio is a cold wind that is associated with Pampas in the region. So what are Pampas? You should know by virtue of your environment knowledge. So kindly drop a little information about Pampas in the comment box. Again, going forward, as I told you, there is a local wind that is Bora, which is your cold wind, and it is located around the Mediterranean region. Then again, this Mistral is also one wind, and I had mistakenly said it was a warm wind, but no, Mistral is also a cold wind. So Mistral, Bora, Pampio and Blizzard. How can you remember the names? P, B, B, M. These are the winds basically which are the cold winds located over the cold local winds which are located around different parts of the world. And then all others you see here, Chinook, Santa Ana, Zonda, Sirocco, Harmattan and Fohn. These are the warm local winds spread across the world. So these are some of the important local winds which you need to remember. And eventually local winds also become important when we come to India, because in India also the local winds are locally termed differently. So for example, Loo is a local wind that blows in certain northwestern parts of India. So northwestern parts of India see the Loo as local wind. And eventually if we move further south, then there is a local wind which leads to the ripening of mangoes in the Karnataka region. So Karnataka region mein ripening of mangoes is caused by the mango showers or the mango wind. So these are some of the winds which you need to remember. And then if you go further south and you see the coffee plantations and the coffee जिसकी प्रोडक्शन कर्नाटका केरला रीजन में भी की जाती है, that coffee and the cherries are also cultivated in this region. तो इसकी blossoming के लिए there is an important local wind which is called blossom shower. So these lead to the blossoming of the cherries and also assist in the coffee production. Eventually, if we move further east, then there is a local wind called Bardoli Chidha. Bardoli Chidha assist in the production of your jute in the area, also assist in the production of your tea plantations. So tea plantation और jute की production के लिए eventually some of the coffee plantations also located here, उसके लिए भी यहाँ पे बरदोड़ी चीला, that is important. And Kal Baisakhi are the local winds which are located in the West Bengal region. So this is how you have to remember the names of most important local winds that are located across the world and also across the India. Now moving forward, there is a phenomena that is polar vortex. A polar vortex के बारे में बताऊं तो you must be knowing by virtue of your knowledge of geography, if this is your earth and this is the 0-degree equator, then around 30 degree you will see the movement of a movement of a jet stream that is basically called subtropical westerly jet stream. But in the 60-degree area, that is a temperate area, you will see the movement of polar jet stream. And polar vortex is a phenomena that is closely linked with this polar jet stream. So see here, polar vortex is basically a band of strong westerly winds that forms in the stratosphere about 16 kilometers. So it is not a tropospheric phenomena first of all, and it is a stratospheric phenomena. तो स्ट्रपोस्फियर से ऊपर ये phenomena हमें देखने को मिलता है, and it is about above the North Pole around this area. So this area is what we see the polar vortex on. So polar vortex जब ये stable होता है, then you will see the jet stream that is very strong and it is blowing in this area. But when this polar vortex becomes disrupted and it moves down, अब यहां पे होगा क्या? What you will see here is कि this area of equator, तो जो ये वाला एरिया है around the equator, that area is having basically more heat in comparison to the polar area. Polar area थोड़ा ठंडा होगा और this area will be having more heat. So there will be a temperature contrast which will be created, and this temperature contrast will lead to the disruption of the polar vortex, and when the polar vortex is disrupted, you will see the polar jet stream moving like this. So the disruption of the polar vortex will lead to the disruption in the jet stream, and jet stream now moves like this, and this will lead to the cold season being intensified in this particular region. और इस particular region में especially in USA and Canada you will see the cold season being intensified. So polar vortex also leads to the intensification of cold winters in the US Canada region. So this is what you have to remember with respect to the polar vortex. Now around the same area you will see another effect that is known as the lake snow effect. Again, lake snow effect में भी this illustration quite well describes what is lake snow effect. Now you will see this effect basically in Canada. So Canada का जो Great Lakes region है. So what are the Great Lakes in this region? Kindly drop the name of those Great Lakes, because UPSC had gone into the depth of asking कि यहाँ पे जो Great Lakes located हैं with respect to the direction from west to east, kindly give us the direction. So this is what was the question asked 3 to 4 years from now. और इस बार भी lake snow effect becomes important with respect to your Great Lakes region. So Great Lakes के ऊपर एक phenomena होता है, that is whenever the cold air moves over the lakes. तो cold air, for example, if it is moving over the lakes, and these lakes, what are they having? The heat and moisture. Heat and moisture, for example, this warm lake water is having, so that heat and moisture will rise up. So that heat and moisture will rise up, and eventually when this cold air is passing through this region, then this heat and moisture will be taken up by these cold winds. जब ये cold winds will take up the heat and moisture, it will lead to the condensation and cloud formation. तो जो moisture है, because of the warm lake वो moisture is taken up by the cold air masses from Canada, and that leads to the condensation of that air moisture, and eventually when it moves further, और एक टाइम आता है that is dew point is reached, and then when the dew point is reached it will lead to the snowfall and precipitation in the area. So whenever the cold air mass is passing over the lake, it takes up the moisture, that moisture condenses along the way, and eventually it leads to rainfall and precipitation. This effect is known as your lake snow effect. So it is important for your UPSC prelims and mains point of view. Now, these are some of the questions which I have framed in order to test your understanding on the concepts we just discussed. So the first one being the statement based question. Cyclones are intense circular storms that originate over warm tropical oceans and are characterized by low atmospheric pressure, high winds and heavy rainfall. Which of the following best explains the conditions necessary for the formation of cyclones? First one being cold ocean currents and high pressure systems. Second, warm ocean waters and Coriolis effect. Third, dry air masses and mountainous regions. And fourth, stable atmospheric conditions and weak pressure gradients. So expect the answer to this question in the comment box. Now, another question in order to test your understanding of various topics. Certain local winds are specific to particular geographic regions and named based on their origin or effects in those areas. Which of the following local winds is correctly matched with its typical location? Chinook, southern India; Mistral, southern France; Lou, northern Europe; and Sirocco, Canada. So I hope now you are well equipped with the names of these local winds. We discussed Chinook, we discussed Mistral, we discussed Lou, and we also discussed Sirocco. So now you have to give me the right answer to this question in the comment box. So further in the series, we'll be certainly coming up with more such high yielding topics, and please stay connected to us with our YouTube channel, and if you have not subscribed it, then kindly subscribe Nimbus Academy IAS. You can also connect to us and share your doubts and your concerns through nimbus.ias on Instagram handle, and there is a Telegram group and Telegram channel with the name Nimbus Academy HAS IAS, and there is also our app which you can connect to us by, which is Nimbus Academy app. So this is how you can connect to us, and for more such relevant content, please stay connected to us through Nimbus Academy IAS on YouTube. Thank you and have a great time preparing for your prelims. All the very best. Thank you.